Good morning, Rebels, and welcome back to my life. There's an important thing to remember in all this Gamergate brouhaha, and that is that video games are dumb. And I say that as a gamer for my entire life. Does that mean that video games are completely unimportant? Of course not. They are art, and just like any art, they can change the way we look at the world and improve our lives. But also just like any art, they are a sign of the most extreme privilege that has ever existed among Homo sapiens. Ever! Think about it, you're able to spend $60 on a video game and then sit there on your computer, or if you're an inferior being, your console, and play that game for hours. Tens of hours. Hundreds of hours, during which time you do not need to struggle to eat or survive. There are people who compete in Call of Duty tournaments and shoot their pixel guns at other people's pixel characters and make lots of money doing that, while in the real world, people shoot and kill each other for real every single day. You're able to spend $400 on a console when that $400 would feed a family in a developing country for a year. Does that make you a horrible or selfish person? No, we all have our leisure activities, and if you earn that money, you get to choose how to spend it. But please, let's not create a false equivalence either. Games journalism is important and should be a tool to protect us, the consumers, from game companies trying to cheat us out of our money. But real-life journalism can expose government or corporate atrocities and highlight massive human rights violations being perpetrated all around the world. So if you're wondering why traditional media that covers Gamergate tends to focus on the misogyny and harassment side of it, that's because misogyny and harassment create real, terrible, lasting effects in people's lives and often lead to violence. Real-life violence, not pixelated blood on a screen. Whereas when games journalism is corrupt, the worst consequence is that you shell out $60 on a game that sucks, which, like, the New York Times doesn't care about. Now, of course, when a few 100,000 people do that, then some big game studio makes millions of dollars on a crappy product, and that's bad. That should not happen. We should work to stop that from happening. But if you think that that is as bad or as important as somebody threatening a Montreal-style shooting and bombing massacre, and you wonder why traditional press covers the massacre threat instead of games corruption, you're living in a dream world, man. Traditional press focuses on the side of any issue that has real-world consequences, and threats of death and rape are a more important real-world consequence than corruption in games journalism. They just are. If you have even an hour a week to spend on video games, you are privileged above the wildest dreams of humanity for thousands of years. And no matter who you are further privileged above a large majority of Earth's population right now. Video games are a wonderful thing. They have improved my life. They have created some of the most emotional moments in my life. I'm looking at you, Eris. They imagine new futures and put us in the shoes of ancient heroes, and with developments like the Oculus Rift, they might soon be creating, like, major, lasting improvements in industries all around the world. And they are also, like movies and paintings and novels, fundamentally kind of dumber than we give them credit for. And I expect no backlash for these statements in the comments of this video. Rebels, I'm at Kamikaze today and all this weekend. If you're there, tweet me at Garrett Author. I would love to meet up. And if you didn't like this video, you can yell at me about it. I'll try and post Kamikaze videos over the weekend, but you know how it goes. So worst case scenario, I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, take care of yourselves, and game on. Respectfully. Bye! Thanks for watching that video. Did you notice that it was free? Yes, my YouTube channel, my 2 weekly podcasts, and many of my books are free. And if you want to support all that free art, you can become a sponsor of independent art at Patreon.com. Patreon.com is a voluntary subscription service where you can give small monthly donations. And for just $5 a month, you get every book that I ever publish, ever. Check it out by clicking the orange button below or the link in the description. Thanks very much. Big shout out to my superstar patrons Soren and Gary, and I will see you tomorrow.